Hey, what is up, awesome people? Shady Wags with Got Your Back Gaming, and I'm going to be talking about what I feel is the best melee weapons in Conan Exiles. Now, this is not scientific. It is entirely based on my PvE combat experiences. And we are in early access, so any of this could change at any time. If we look at the stone sword, the damage per hit is listed right here. This is the amount of damage without modifiers that the sword is going to do per hit. Now, to get the actual amount of damage that a melee weapon is going to do, we use this formula. It's weapon damage plus the weapon damage multiplied by the points in strength divided by 100. And that's going to give you your total melee damage with that weapon. So in my case, my strength's 25. I'll divide that by 100 to get 0.25. Then multiply that by the sword damage of 30 to get 7.5, and then that's added to the base damage. So 30 plus 7.5 for a total of 37.5. And then we have to take into consideration the speed of the weapon, also the DPS. I don't have any raw numbers on this, so I'm just eyeballing it. You can get a pretty good idea how fast a weapon is just by swinging it. And right here's the durability of the weapon. That is the amount of damage a weapon can sustain before it breaks. And right now, I don't really go off of this number. I think it's incorrect. I just kind of go off of what I see by using that weapon. Durability is a pretty huge thing in Conan. Just because a sword looks better damage-wise, if you're having to repair it every 10 fights or so, well, that could become a big issue, especially if you don't have the items readily available to repair it. So after the stone sword, most people are naturally going to assume the next best weapon available is the iron broadsword at level 12. It does give you a good damage increase, doing 45 damage, but the problem is at the level you unlock it, you probably don't have a steady iron supply yet. And what you're going to find, at least I did, I was constantly having to repair this thing. What I would recommend is not unlocking this till later, and instead, first unlock the javelin. The javelin does 43 damage, only a 2-point difference, and it only requires stone to repair. That way you can focus gathering iron to craft your armor set instead of constantly using your iron bars to repair the sword. You can throw the javelin, but if you do that, you can't retrieve it. It's gone. You're going to have to craft another. The disadvantage to the javelin, though, it is slower. It's a thrusting weapon, and the range is not as good as the sword. It's almost like an underhand knife thrust. Now, to offset that range disadvantage, I would also unlock one of two weapons, the iron pike or the iron warhammer. The pike is a two-handed thrusting weapon, which deals 57 damage. The difference, though, between this and the iron sword is the pike is a lot more durable. I've fought and fought and fought with the pike, and I do not seem to even have close to the amount of issues I have with repairing this thing as I have with the sword. Now, the warhammer, in my opinion, is one of the best overall weapons in the game. It does 64 damage. That is more than all but 2 other weapons in the entire game. So at level 10, you have available to you one of the most damaging weapons. Now, what initially turned me off from the warhammer is that it's really slow. At least I thought it was. You actually have 3 attacks with the hammer. You have the charged overhand smash, or you can click for a back and forth swing. Now, here's the real kicker. The left attack is a quick push with the hammer, and that quick push does just as much damage as those swings. So if you get in close, you can quickly do some massive damage with this thing. And just like the pike, it's very durable. It does have one distinct disadvantage, and that's against spiders. It's really difficult to kill spiders with the warhammer. So I would use the javelin with a shield as your one-hander, and the pike or the warhammer until you have a good supply of iron bars. Then I would switch out the javelin for the iron sword. The only reason I would even recommend switching out for the iron sword is because the sword is able to hit spiders more easily. And around level 25 to 30-ish, you're going to be fighting a lot of spiders. Now, as far as the Khopesh, the Cutlass, the Falcata, and the Stygian Spear, these are higher level unlocks, but they don't do as much damage as the Iron Sword, Pike, or Warhammer. So don't even unlock them or waste mats crafting them at this time. I'm not sure why they're less damage. Maybe that's something that will change in the future, but for right now, I would spend those points elsewhere. When you do move up to the higher grade weapons, the ones that require steel, unlock the Ancient Khopesh. It does 76 damage. The longsword only does 60. The Khopesh does have less durability, but not enough to really justify not taking it over the longsword, because you're going to find yourself having to repair either one just as much as the other. And the last weapon you want to unlock is the Trident. That also does 76 damage, and it is extremely durable. This is going to be your replacement for the pike or the warhammer. So just to reiterate, take the javelin as your one-hander until you're in a good position to switch over to the iron sword. Unlock the iron warhammer or the pike, then unlock both the ancient Khopesh and the Trident. Overall, I think the best two weapons are the iron warhammer against everything but spiders, and the ancient Khopesh. I hope you found this information useful. If you did, I really would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.